Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. You're watching IPO and the company which is coming into the capital markets this week is Krystal Integrated Services. It's an integrated facilities management company which is primarily into healthcare and education sector among others. The company's IPO opens on March 14th and closes on 18th. Price between 680 to 715. Is a fresh issue of 175 crore shares and the OFS is of 125 crore shares. And joining me today is Sanjay Dighe, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Krystal. Sanjay, thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. Let me begin with, give us a sense of what is your business model and which are the segments that you are working on.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here on this show. Really happy to be here. Yes, we are in the integrated facility management services space. We've been doing this business since the last 23 years, and we have a couple of things which are very unique to us. One is the simplicity of our business model. It is a very simple model. We have the most diverse services that we offer to the market. Also, because of the simplicity, we get one of the best numbers. Margins are the best that we have. Also, we've been able to maintain a good percentage of customer loyalty. Couple of customers that we are working with, like SDFC Bank or Phoenix or Hinduja, they have been with us for over 15 years, 20 years. And we are present we have a national footprint. We are present in all the sectors. We have our diverse sectors is also our strength. We are present in the government and corporate sectors both. So all in all, it is a great package in the price brand that we are coming in, which is opening on the 14th and closing on the 18th. It's a great opportunity for people.
Take us through what you're going to do with 175 crores which you're raising in fresh capital.
In our objects, as we have already mentioned, almost 100 crores goes to our working capital and BG margins, which we require, and 10 crore we are going to retire a very small debt of term loan that we have. 55 crore is for GCP, corporate, general corporate purpose. So that is the overall objects of our raising of funds.
Give me a sense of what kind of working capital requirement that your business requires, because you are into a services business and you are seeking 100 crores for working capital. So give me a sense why you need such a high working capital requirement.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are into this services sector, and as you would also know, the predominant working capital requirement is for wages, because our overall cycles in the government corporate business, they average at around 70 days credit cycle, and therefore the money that we require is to pay our wages. And also, as I told you, we are a very dominant player in our government sector, which requires continuous bank guarantees. So these are the two areas which attract predominantly our working capital, and they'll consume this 100 crore.
Nearly 69% of your revenues come from government government contracts. What is the kind of receivable days for government contracts?
That's it. Good question. The government contract receivable is between 60 to 90 days, and we've been doing this business since last 2 decades. So we've seen multiple contracts over the period of time. We have one of the best pre-qualifications for any larger contract that the government comes. And also, you may also know the way the government tenders are. The processes have evolved over a period of time. And as I said, we've seen 2 decades of this. Today, we are very happy to say that the way these tenders are structured, their SLAs, the processes, the way the bidding processes, the pre-qualifications is, the entire process has become very transparent and professional. And therefore, it is a very 60 to 90 days is the cycle that we believe it's a good cycle in the government sector.
Sanjay, give us a sense of what is the kind of receivables which you have and how many days it is for the private sector.
The receivables for private sector is between 40 to 60 days. As you know, as we have mentioned in our DRHP also, we have good sectoral presence in the corporate also in terms of our business verticals, whether they are malls, hospitals, airports like Mumbai Metro we are servicing, and we have a good customer portfolio. Also, our retention level in the customer and the loyalty is excellent. And post pandemic also we've been able to actually keep our credit cycles in check, and because we have our customer mix is very good, and I'm very thankful to them that they have been appreciating the services that we are rendering to them, and therefore we've never so therefore the cycle is between 45 to 60 days in the corporate sector, and we are happy with that cycle as well.
Give me a sense of your client concentration, because I was looking at your RHP, and your top client accounts for nearly 30% of your revenues and top 5 accounts for nearly 68% of the revenues. So can you give us a sense of who the top client is?
Yeah, our top out of the 20, our top 4 customers in the corporate sector gives us contribute to almost 17.6% of our revenues, and these are the ones who have been with us for over a decade. And also on the government side, our concentration in the healthcare sector is a very good concentration. As I told you, we've been working in the government space for almost 2 decades, and our prowess and our competency in the healthcare sector is emerged as one of the best in the country today. And there in the healthcare sector, it is almost 35% coming from a particular healthcare segment. Having said that, there is also this 35% which is split between 5 zones in a particular geographic area. So that is a very healthy combination, because each zone has a different process of business. So as good as 35% is divided between 5 customers. So it's a great combination of our customer mix. And given the FNS survey report on the industry, it is expected the government will grow in the IFMS outsourcing sector in the government will grow at about 16.5%. It has grown in the last 3 years by 10%. And it is also expected that the corporate sector will go by 10%. So I think we are there in our hands, and our expertise in both these sectors is going to hugely benefit our prospective investors. And at the price band that we are at 680 and 715, and where it is opening on 14 March and closing on 18, I think we are a good buy with the kind of mix of sectoral, the kind of services that we are offering, and the price at which this is happening, the kind of customer loyalty that we have, and the fantastic service delivery team that we have. I think we have one of the best service delivery teams in the country today. So all in all, I think we are at the right time, at the right sector.
Give me a sense of who the client is, because my understanding is that it's from the hospital segment and from Maharashtra, because Maharashtra accounts for roughly the largest thing. So are you servicing most of the government hospitals in Maharashtra?
No, actually, we are the hospitals that we are servicing are for the government of Tamil Nadu. They are not in Maharashtra. This was initially, it is an excellent project initially, which was funded by the World Bank, and we are servicing all the district hospitals for the government of Tamil Nadu. It was a great initiative to actually upgrade the district hospital infrastructure so that people at district levels do not get hassled coming into the cities. So we are running this project for almost 10 years, and it is excellent going. In Maharashtra, we are not doing the hospitals, but we are doing the schools for MCGM, management, and we are doing all the establishments for the Department of Social Welfare and Justice. So that is how our spread is. So geographically also we are working for all the governments. We are working for the governments of Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Haryana, Delhi government. One of the very talked about projects, which was maintenance and upgradation of the schools, which we've been servicing for a long time now, and also Madhya Pradesh. So in government sector also, our pan-India footprint is pretty noteworthy, what we have done in the last 2 decades.
No, the reason I'm asking on the top client is because I think the contract is coming up for renewal on March 31st, 2024. You got an extension of 1 year for the largest client.
Sure.
So I just wanted to understand which is the largest client, so that we are aware of this.
This is the largest client is DME, Department of Medical Education, Tamil Nadu. What I explained about Tamil Nadu, the client is named as Department of Medical Education, and that is the one that you are discussing now, which is under renewal, and it is under extension.
And this is the World Bank program where you are providing all those services to all the healthcare at the district level. Is that the case?
Yeah. It was initially the World Bank. Now it is the state funded.
Okay.
But we are talking about the same contract.
Okay. So give us a sense of how these contracts work, because is it a short term contract you have to bid every year, or is it long term contracts?
Oh, that's a good question. Unlike the corporate, these are typically a 3+ 1 year contract, which is a very good thing about these contracts if you are in this segment, and we are happy that we are, because you get a pipeline of 3+ 1 year straight away. And also, as I mentioned to you, that we have seen these contracts over the last 2 decades. So for us, the tendering process is a very continuous process. So typically it is a 3+ 1 year contract that they would come under renewal, or they would get extended, and then we again rebid for that. And we, again, very interesting thing for you to know is our renewal ratio is almost 40%, because once you have settled into a contract, you acquired the way that contract is executed, you have your costing right, your efficiencies trigger in at the optimum at the 3rd year, and you are in a great position to re-win that contract. So that's the good thing about these contracts.
My question was that
they are all online. I think that was also,
My question was that you get a EBITDA margin of 7.6% for the half year, and it's around 7% for the FY23, which is among the highest among your peers, which is a Quest or a SIS or other companies who are in the same space. So
that's right.
Does it bring in more competition for you in this,
right,
because there are higher margins in this business?
Yes, you are right in a way. The margins are definitely higher in this business. But again, one thing to note that because a tendering process also works on a pre-qualification criteria, and the longer duration that you participate in the tenders and the type of tenders you actually pick and choose to bid and win, they build your criteria over the period of time. And now going forward, as larger tenders come in, our pre-qualification is going to really work in our favor, and therefore we are best poised to rebid and also win these tenders. And therefore we understand the mechanics of these tenders, and so the margins are better in this sector.
So how is the price escalation priced in these contracts once you get the bids? Are they inflation indexed for you?
Yeah, they are inbuilt into the contract, and we get the benefit of these price escalations every time they happen. Generally, they happen every 6 months, and therefore we would get the benefit of them.
Okay, give me a sense of how you're looking at the other services, because instead of, aside of the integrated facilities management, you are into payrolls and other services as well, and staffing, and the third one being the security services. These are also high margin businesses. How are you looking at those businesses to scale up?
Yeah, there is an opportunity there now, especially there is a sense in the government departments also that they would outsource contracts for, I mean, employment and all those to keep the employment ratios. They will and they will outsource these contracts to people like us. So we are already doing work for the government of Madhya Pradesh, where Madhya Pradesh Electricity Board, we are having our staffing services there. So we are seeing good opportunity there. Again, for one of the other big customers on a pan-India level also, we are doing these staffing services. So we are seeing a good growth in the staffing and payroll management services as well. Also in the security services domain, there is a big opportunity there as well, because as the government infra or even the corporate side, we need to talk about the corporate sector as well. Corporate sector, again, as I told you, it's going to grow at almost 10%. So there is a good amount of growth in the corporate sector for your security man guarding, for various projects that are coming, for the new infrastructure that is coming up. The other thing I would like to mention here is also the Make in India theme, which is there in the country. It is going to give opportunity to companies like us when their supply chain management triggers, their warehouse management triggers. So all these you are getting highways which are built. Obviously, there is going to be infrastructure coming along these highways. There are fast trains coming in. There are railway stations coming in. Both the ministry is aspiring to give a railway passenger a similar experience as a budget airline passenger. So who's going to maintain this infrastructure? So we have a great time post this IPO. At least for the next 5 years, we are going to really enjoy a very good ride in terms of these sectors and the way that they are growing.
What has been the success ratio for your government contracts? Because I was looking at your RHP. In the first half, it wasn't much, though it was 40% in FY23. So when does this contract normally kick, rebidding kicks in, and in which quarters do we see the results coming in?
Yeah, good question here. It is, as I told you, this is the ongoing process, and when we acquire one contract, we've already mapped the life cycle of that contract, and the process then goes on. Because if we have won a contract today, we have any which way mapped the end date of that. And therefore, because we are a pan-India presence, our tender and study and the research behind different departments, different states, and the tenders coming is an ongoing process. Now, though it is not we may have not won anything on a quarter-on-quarter basis, but the results are also awaited. Sometimes the results are delayed, so we've almost submitted 11 bids, and we are still awaiting results for that. So if you go to see quarter-wise, then you will say you bid 11 and not yet won any, but the results are awaited. So it is an ongoing process, and we are not much worried about it, because the results, the bidding, the process, the evaluation, many a times for large tenders it takes a little time with the government procedures, but then ultimately it happens. So there is no quarter to quarter kind of timeline to this, but it's an ongoing process.
And when do you expect the Tamil Nadu bid to come out?
We've already bid, sir, and we are awaiting results also.
Yeah, when do you expect the results to come out? Because March 31st is the last date, right?
Yeah, but we are on the renewal process. So till the time they are prepared to go ahead and open the bid and award the contract, they would renew that contract. So currently also we are at the extension, and till the time they are good to go, I think the renewal will go on. And till the time the renewal goes on, our revenue we will keep on getting revenue from that contract.
Okay, and will the upcoming elections have any impact in the results coming out faster, or it may delay the entire results?
Actually, natural question, but we've seen almost 2 decades of elections, and we've grown over that. So it actually doesn't matter because of this election. It's a continuous process.
Sanjay Dighe, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Your IPO is opening on March 14th, closes on 18th, price between 680 to 715. It's a fresh issue of 175 crores and OFS of 125 crores, so nearly 300 crores. Thank you very much for joining us on IPO Adda.
That's it. Oh, my pleasure. I had a wonderful time talking with you. Thank you so much for getting me here.
Thank you.